X-Play, we look for someone to play with in Planetside Core Combat. And Dragon Ball Z Budokai urges you to move along. There's nothing Freudian to see here.
Look at that. I got your tail.
Nothing at all.
Piccolo, do it!
It's game time. Please welcome two people making a fortune by placing small, personalized ads in localized newspapers. It's Adam Setzler and Morgan Webb.
Hello and welcome to X-Play. Now today we have a dark and brooding comic book hero.
And an ill-advised expansion pack for Great Shooter.
And Dragon Ball Z for the GameCube.
No!
Oh yes, the fanboys are going to be hating on us again. Plus a game based on a ride at Disney World.
Ooh, it's a small world first-person shooter. Finally, yay! Take that, cute kids.
No. Plus we find out what happens when the person running your Half-Life server is a total a-hole.
But we kick things off with a comic book hero, Spawn, who, despite his name, has nothing to do with reproduction.
Now I think the demon in spandex on the box is a dead giveaway. Here's a review of Spawn Armageddon.
There's plenty of necro antics afoot in a narcoleptic city bereft of population as the latest attempt to sully Todd McFarlane's angry action man Spawn drops on a platform near you. We find Spawn, pissed as ever, musing over love and loss well known to the veterans of the comic. Of course something ain't right and Spawn's gotta get busy bustin', hacking, tearing, and breaking. Characters show up now and again to chat, but offer very little in the way of helpful shards of necro tidbit.
I have a feeling that you're about to get involved in something that may overwhelm you.
Spawn's gliding cape is visually appealing and his waist chains fly from his living costume impressively. Stand back, demonic sack of possessed kittens! Feel my necrotic wrath! Feel my fury! Yeah, kinda stupid, huh? This game suffers from an incredibly frustrating lack of grabbing, jumping, and targeting accuracy. When and where do you target your chains for the zipline to work consistently? Overall, the city presents itself as a fairly mundane collection of arena scenarios. This makes combat pretty repetitive as you play strike and avoid through every mission. The demonic hordes are dispatched easily and don't press you into any major chin rubbing to take them out. Hack 'em, slash 'em, or just break out a doom-belching superheater and waste 'em from afar, and it's off to a dandy new side of the necropolis to face a lot of the same damn thing. The voice work is from the critically acclaimed HBO series, and sound, atmospherics, and design are nicely produced.
I made a deal. I sealed my fate whole for the love of my wife.
The character of Spawn at times strikes some nice moves in the midst of combat. Die, evil spleen of Satan? Spawn often has to resort to dumpster diving and to furiously hacking trash cans in order to find much-needed power-ups. Far has our dark hero fallen to a state of necro-hobotude. There's an array of weaponry, but they all seem to deliver the same less-than-lethal salvo. Of course, there's the ever-trendy, way-overused bullet time mode where everything slows down and precious necro fuel is consumed. Decently rendered demons and some good sound engineering cannot make up for awkward cameras, easy-to-beat demons, and impossibly inconsistent grabbing, jumping, and targeting. We're taking a relatively necrophobic position on this one, folks. We give it a 2 out of 5.
It doesn't really surprise us that this game blow it. The only good game with Spawn in it is Soul Calibur 2 for the Xbox.
Yes, every other Spawn game was awful. And Spawn the Eternal for the PlayStation being one of the worst games ever made. Ever.
Ever to infinity!
Speaking of infinity, have you noticed that when there's nothing to do, time just seems to go on forever?
Yeah, it's the theory of relativity.
Whatever I said, actually the theory of relativity has to do with, light and slowing down. And
I thought it measured the speed of fun.
the point is that if you make an expansion pack for the best massively multiplayer online first-person shooter out there, you better be sure someone's still playing it first. Now, here's a review of Planetside Core Combat. PlanetSide is a fantastic shooter that takes hundreds of players and drops them into a virtual war zone. We love it. PlanetSide Core Combat is a cheap-ass expansion pack that feels more like a half-hearted grab at your wallet. We hate it, and here's why. PlanetSide's big. There are already a lot of areas to fight over. Much of the time, these areas are going unused since no one wants to hang out on an empty continent. Core Combat adds 6 new cavernous areas to the game. Why would anyone bother to come down here and fight? They wouldn't, and no one does. Hello? Anybody home? Anybody? I'm so lonely. The caves themselves look pretty nice, although getting around is a pain. There are ledges and cliffs all over the place, and they're connected by these things called zip lines. You'd think a mind-bogglingly advanced race of ancient aliens would come up with a more efficient mode of transportation than something you'd see on American Gladiators. There is one reason to visit the caves. They are the only place where you can snag some alien weaponry, vehicles, and cool new upgrades for your bases. Overall, the alien stuff is okay. See, you can tell it's alien technology because they're all curvy and shiny. The alien tech appears to be better suited for strategic use. I like the flail, a long-range siege weapon that requires a second person to paint the targets with a laser before you can fire. If you can find any targets. Or a second person. Anybody want to try to kill me? Hello? Target here. The main reason to visit the caves is to get technology upgrades for your bases. The upgrades range from shortening the respawn time when you die to creating a force field around the entrances to your base. If you don't buy the Core Combat expansion pack, you can't visit the caves, which is no big deal because almost no one goes down there anyway. Hello? You can't collect upgrades from the caves. That's lame, but at least you can still get their benefits once they are installed in a base. You can't use the new weapons or vehicles. This is a huge deal. PlanetSide is now a game where there are haves and have-nots. Either you pay the cash and get the weapons, or you're out of luck. Most of the content in Core Combat could quite easily have been made available to subscribers with a regular update. There's not enough here to justify the price, especially since players are already forking over $13 a month to play. We still love PlanetSide, but Core Combat isn't worth it. We don't say this often, but what the hell were they thinking? PlanetSide Core Combat nets itself a very angry 1 out of 5. Hello? Hello? A 1.
1. Got a 1. But when PlanetSide first came out, you could have huge battles fighting against and alongside hundreds of other players. It was awesome and epic. It was like the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Now,
Right.
I found maybe, 4 players in the entire time I played Core Combat. Now, at one point, I actually got so bored, I conquered an entire cavern all on my own.
Wow.
No resistance.
Yeah.
It was a hollow victory. I just kept wondering if anyone was out there.
Is anybody out there? Just not if you can hear me.
Is anyone watching? Is there anyone at all?
Hello? Hello?
Up next, how we really feel about Dragon Ball Z. Genetically spliced for your amusement, it's Morgan Sessler and Adam Webb.
So I'm just quite not quite right about that.
Neither of those work well.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Now, recent study shows that some fanboys are scarier than others. Now, sure, we have alienated the Final Fantasy fans, and we've alienated the Pokemon fans, but why not dig ourselves in deeper by alienating the Dragon Ball Z fans?
Because they frighten us, and they write hate mail, and they criticize the way I pronounce Super Saiyan.
Five emails right there. Well, that's not going to stop us when we review Dragon Ball Z Budokai. Now, we did this originally for the PS2. That was back a couple of years ago. And now Budokai is dragging its Dragon Balls onto another platform.
Here's our review of Dragon Ball Z Budokai for the GameCube. I'm scared.
It's okay.
Look, I don't want to upset anyone out there, but I have to be honest. I don't really like Dragon Ball Z. In fact, sometimes I hate it.
How could you say that?
The story just doesn't really make any sense. It's basically for little kids, and overall, it just plain sucks. I love pissing him off.
Look at that. I got your tail.
Come on, what the hell is that?
Piccolo, do it!
And why is there so much screaming? Now, we have to review the game that wasn't very good for the PS2, and that's now not any better for the GameCube. Okay, maybe the graphics are a bit improved, but does it really matter? Other than that, Dragon Ball Z Budokai is the exact same game that we played and disliked on the PS2. There's nothing new here. For the die-hard fan, Budokai has plenty to offer. The story mode is set up to feel like you're playing through a few episodes of the Dragon Ball Z TV show.
Let's go to Namek!
The music, the voices, and the cutscenes all remain very faithful to the source material.
You big ape!
Sometimes, between agonizingly long cutscenes, they even let you pick up the controller and play very short battles. That's where the trouble starts, because this game isn't very deep. And most of all, it really isn't a very good fighting game. The variety of moves is severely limited. Lots of generic punches and kicks. Sure, there are a few special moves, but most of them are rehashed over and over between the different characters. You've seen one beam of light, you've seen them all. Unless you're devoted to Dragon Ball Z. He is playing the game, folks. Trust me. There are plenty of gameplay modes. Playing through the story modes and the tournament mode will unlock new things in the game. The most interesting of these are the skill capsules you earn and purchase while playing. These allow you to customize your character to better fit your playing style. This is a nice touch, but because the fighting feels the same no matter what skills you use, it's pretty much useless.
I'm too smart for them tricks.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai gets points for style. That alone will get legions of fans to buy this game. We think it would have been nice for the developers to have included a reasonably good fighting game, but since they didn't, we give Dragon Ball Z Budokai for the GameCube a 2 out of 5.
Forgive me, Dad.
All right, and let the deluge of angry mail begin.
Or instead of sending us angry mail, you could try to beat our new Flash game, X-Play's Ultimate Flip-Off.
You can find it at our website, techtv.com/xplay.
That way you can flip us off all day long. You flip.
Oh, that's
flip,
new.
Flip, flip.
Lower your standards. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Well, lower them a bit. Not that low.
Welcome back to X-Play.
Okay, so if you play online, then you may have already heard the rumors about our guest.
Yes.
Dark tales of a bad seed who enjoys the suffering of others. An anonymous gamer who plays not to win, but to torture everyone else. His name is The Griefer. We've masked his identity for his own protection, and actually he's kind of nasty looking. Welcome to X-Play, Griefer.
Yeah, just get on with it.
Okay, well, when we last spoke, you were wreaking havoc in Battlefield 1942 games. Now, what game are you ruining for people now?
Well, actually, I've decided to give something back to the gaming community and the rest of you losers. I run my own online server now, and anyone can play on it. As long as they're not a dork, that is.
Oh, your own server. Interesting. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, just for the sake of argument, that Adam here is a dork.
What? No.
And he's playing on your server. Now, what can you do about it?
Okay, Brainiac, let me spell it out for you. Running my own server means I control every single thing in the game. For example, this guy thinks he's cool because his character looks like some lame terrorist. But it's obvious that he's just a loser, so I'll make sure he looks like one. I just type a command into my window here, and now he looks like Bert. No. A Lego guy. No, wait. Cat food. Yeah. I hear they really like this brand.
What about his weapon?
Oh, that. I'll turn it into a can of Pringles. So now everyone can see what a loser this guy is. Then I tell him to get out.
Warning, go away.
And he should leave any second now. Yep, there he goes.
Why Pringles?
Why not Pringles? Anyway, I'm hungry.
All right, so how do you choose which gamer you're going to torture, Griefer?
Everyone deserves to suffer in my games. But I admit, there's some boneheads I despise more than most. Just look at this coward, throwing grenades around the corner without risking a thing. So I figured out how to slow down the grenades so they barely move at all. And
Duty terminated.
oh, honestly, it hurts being this good.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Wait till I get going. You see this guy jumping all over? This moron thinks he can stay alive longer if he's harder to shoot. But to me, it looks like he's trying to fly or something. So I just turn off his gravity and he sends himself into orbit. Good times. Now he's all freaked out. Don't worry, Rocket Man. I'll help you get down.
Adios, amigo.
Oh, now you're just another greasy stain on my screen. Serves you right.
Okay, Griefer, what can a gamer do to avoid your unholy wrath?
Good question. Let me think. Nothing. You're all helpless before me. If you can't stand the heat, then stay off my server. People like you sicken me.
Okay, I think we should wrap this up then.
He's a sweet little man, isn't he?
Thanks for taking the time to speak with us, Griefer.
It wasn't a total waste of time. By the way, Sessler,
What?
You are an idiot.
We'll be back.
Coming up, this just in, Disney ran out of things to franchise. No, wait, it's the Haunted Mansion game. Because we know someone out there must be watching, it's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to X-Play. We have a game based on a ride at Disneyland.
And I know you're all squirming with anticipation. Is it a Country Bear Jamboree dating sim? A twirling teacup fighter? A Mr. Toad's Wild Ride RPG?
No. It's the Haunted Mansion. And blissfully, the game has almost nothing to do with the craptastic movie.
Still not looking forward to it. Here's our review.
It's no surprise that TDK released the video game The Haunted Mansion to coincide with Disney's movie The Haunted Mansion starring Eddie Murphy that came and left the theaters faster than you can say transvestite hooker. What? Now $10 Disney says you're probably thinking that the game sucks just as bad as the movie. No offense, Mr. Murphy. But you can't always judge a book by its cover. I mean, you can't judge a game by its movie. I mean, never. You know what I mean. The first thing the game does is disassociate itself from the movie and resembles more the Disneyland ride attraction most of us know and love. Instead of a certain former SNL cast member, the main character is Zeke Holloway, an Ichabod Crane-looking fellow. To be honest, we could never bring ourselves to pay attention long enough to find out exactly why Zeke goes into the mansion. But suffice to say, he's trapped inside with a bunch of ghosts. The storyline is definitely one of the weaker elements of the game, but it can easily be skipped.
Of the mysterious and secret things unseen.
Okay, shut up already, Mae West. Basically, it's Zeke's job to free 999 spirits trapped in the mansion. He does so by entering a room, filling it with light, uncovering the spirits held within, and then sucking them up into his magic lantern. Sounds pretty simple, and familiar if you played Luigi's Mansion. What's great about the way these brain teasers are set up is that they aren't run-of-the-mill collect-the-keys type puzzles, but are actually integrated into the rooms themselves, with furnishings, objects, and other decor that can be manipulated. And that brings us to combat, which is the game's weakest element. Zeke fires light attacks from his lantern at creatures like spiders and scary little girls, using the R button while targeting with the L button. On the good side, the lighting and shadow effects are impressively realistic without being showy, and the design of the rooms is detailed and rich. Zeke's movements are a bit awkward, but hey, he's supposed to be a geek, right? Geeks move awkwardly. The subtle sound effects enhance the visuals with a variety of suitable creaks, whispers, and screams. Okay, Mom, I'll take out the garbage already. And although the game is rated for teens, it's hard to see what wouldn't be appropriate for all but the youngest children. Which is unfortunate because I was actually hoping for a little more action in the maid's bedroom, but all I saw were these roaming walls. Most gamers probably wouldn't give Haunted Mansion a second thought if they passed by it on a game store shelf, and we don't blame them. But for those longing for an antidote to mindless action, they will be pleased with this modest, intelligent title. X-Play gives it a 3 out of 5.
All right, well, that is Disney's Haunted Mansion. That may not be the most enthralling game that we showed you on the show, but if you need to refresh yourself, you can find all the reviews at our website, which is
techtv.com/xplay.
And we have our brand new exciting X-Play original game.
Yes.
It's a game made by us for you, people who watch the show. It involves flipping us off or around or
over or something, and it has me in a purple ooh la la wig.
And it has me probably looking like I'm in pain and uncomfortable and sad.
Yes, and it also has a dick. That's usually your line. Good night.